This a Batman tune. I promise you. This shit lit, cuz. This shit lit. Alright? Run that joint.
Niggas looking for the light. Me and my niggas prepared for the dog. Yeah. So we gon' get it on for the last days, nigga. You already know what it is. 140 for the rebel.
They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. Earn your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. It's a problem, tell them pop off. I die for I let my colors fly, boy. For a nigga take me, they a drop dead. AR, clean them up like a mop pig. Say he cool, he bad, he really so tough. They like, damn, look what he did, it really go rough. Little bitch think she Kiki Palmer, silly hoe. She know I'm that bull, but I ain't from Philly though. From the city where they say about that ribbon like petty poops. Know them niggas plotting, gotta deal with me. Can't catch me slipping, got to steal with me. Just left Alabama, bought a chopper from some hillbilly move. He made my life feel the blade. Leave them all bruised, come through like a plague. Rebel off the leash like a dog out the cage. Call me Johnny Blaze, I'm Run West Made. Watch your step get stretched like a limousine. So my brother bring that blade back wet, that's my enemy. A little nigga, this that cult, need to talk. Niggas know I got blood in my cup, I just sip it like it's grenadine. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war, let's see who make it out. On your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war, let's see who make it out. Tell them niggas good night, here come the best. Look, told them niggas get right or get left. UPK, bad man, I pin to your flesh. Hellboy, rip the soul out of dead man shit. Got the rate, the power, I been a showstopper. Yeah, they might hate, but I know they gon' watch. Zone on lock, and you know the flow prop. Iced out, got the drip out of David Jones lock. Know I got the plan, they say that you the man. No shit, Sherlock, I'm the one you heard about. Burn down the building, let them all watch. Throw that one west up, then I swerve out. Sick with this shit, I do not need a detox. He don't watch a step, blow him out them Reeboks. We taking over, I'm sending the word out. Can't see me, little nigga, I put you in a bird box. Look, it's One West practical, gladiator, maximal. Creep on them slow, but they Glock 5 rapid. All I want is more power, more straps to blow. Ain't got excuse for no car, he gon' have to go. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. Earn your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out.
Let's clap it up. Shalom, DC, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible. Truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true Jews, and that the oppressor, the white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We're not affiliated with any other Christian church or Hebrew Israelite group. 1 West is home of the truth. Not a Commander General Yahanna, it's not the truth.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Today, the roads is clear.
Yeah.
Them roads is empty. The streets is empty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why? Because Esau has a holiday called Memorial Day.
Right.
Which it totally threw me off, because I just being in the truth. You know what I'm saying? Not celebrating Esau's holidays, it kind of takes you through a loop, because you're expecting. You don't know that it's Esau's holiday, but you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You just go outside and go on about your business, and you wondering why the streets, are the way they are. You know what I'm saying? Why they got flags up everywhere? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why are these stores closed that I frequent on a regular basis? What the hell's going on?
Right.
Lo and behold, yeah, it's one of Esau's holidays, right?
Right.
Well, we're gonna get into something, the origin and how the way they feel about the origin and what the U.S. government is doing to keep or just to make America white again. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We all know. Well, some of us know that the white man hates us. The oppressor hates us. I should say it like that. There's a whole ton of us that really don't get it. That really don't understand that the oppressor does not, mess with us, and we have to actually. I ain't gonna say go out. Us. Shalom, SHALAM. What's going on? Good to see you, brother. And we have to I'm not gonna say go out of the way, but yeah, we do have to go out of our way to tell people, our people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that it's that the oppressor really does not mess with us. It's like, oh, Brock, yeah, there you go, you got it. That the oppressor really does not mess with us. You know what I'm saying? And it's a shame. You know what I'm saying? That even in 2025 and in the middle of not even in the middle, in the very beginning of Trump's second, presidency, second administration, that it takes something like this to realize that that they really don't mess with us. I don't know if you noticed that, but they have a museum here in Washington, D.C. They have a ton of museums, but one of them is the African American History Museum, right? And what Trump has done, he's began to take out the objects in there that shows what history is. You know what I'm saying? It shows black history and the African American history. If it's going to be anywhere, he doesn't want us anywhere. But if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be in this museum. You know what I'm saying? And he's gone out his way to take away exhibits, pull out different exhibits, and send them on their merry way, and basically strip down, you know what I'm saying, the African American museum here, at least here in DC. Right. He's done other things like he tried to, I ain't gonna say try, he actually did. He erased, you know what I'm saying, prominent black military members from the history books, like Jackie Robinson, you know what I'm saying, and other prominent black military members that was in Esau's military. Right. You know what I'm saying? Since then, he it's been, it was a cry of outrage. He's since put back Jackie Robinson, maybe a few key figures, but for the most part, you know what I'm saying, if your grandfather fought World War II or Vietnam or something like that, and they've done something that's award worthy or medal worthy, and it's documented in the annals of history and whatnot, he went out and took that out. You can't look that up. That now is just oral history. You know what I'm saying? That's just something that is passed down from family to family. If I want to know about your grandfather, the things that he's done to advance this stinking kingdom, I would have to go to your family directly and find out about it. They're being erased, you know what I'm saying, in this kingdom. And just like how the way they've taught, you know what I'm saying, they taught it, they talked about it, that's their total desire. It should be our total desire not to be a part of this thing kingdom. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So with that being said, I'm just going to show you what's current right now, according to the VA. You know what I'm saying? Because the Memorial Day has everything to do with the military and the veterans, right? So the official government website for veterans has a document on Veterans Day. Let's read that, if you could, Barack.
All right. The one you want is
the one from the VA.gov.
All right. I'll have pulled up on the screen shortly.
All right.
From the VA.gov, the origins of Memorial Day, celebrating America's freedoms.
So this is the origin of Memorial Day. You know what I'm saying? So this is coming from, you know what I'm saying, the veterans.gov, VA.gov, coming from the official website that military members past and even present, you know, military members go to the VA for you know, assistance and whatnot for when they get out. But let's read what they got.
Right. The origins of Memorial Day. 3 years after the Civil War ended on May 5th, 1868, the head of an organization of Union veterans, the Grand Army of the Republic.
The Grand Army. That sounds racist just right there. But let's keep going.
Established Decoration Day.
Hold on. They established Decoration Day. And before we move on, hold on. So how can I forget about this stuff? You know what I'm saying? How, Sway?
Right.
Let me just like this. Man, this was getting hot. Salakia. This was getting hot. I had to drop it.
Right.
Before we move on, let's give a hand, you know what I'm saying, to DC, Baltimore, and Virginia for having such an excellent camp. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. There's some tapes that is already out, you know what I'm saying? You can see just a snippet of what went on in camp, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this week's camps, man, yo, it's been a long this camp was something special, something for the ages. I don't know what was going on, but I know Satan attacked the camp, but we came together and we achieved the mission, and we fed the people of Baltimore out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We showed them who the devil appeared. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The devil appeared, and we showed the people of Baltimore exactly who the devil was.
Right.
And guess what? The people of Baltimore, you know what I'm saying, opened up, you know what I'm saying, and greeted us with open arms. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of times out when we go out there where there is, you know, the dope boys, and you know what I'm saying, what they call them, hoppers. That's what they call them, hoppers.
Right.
Be out there, you know what I'm saying, right there, listen to us, but still talking crap. It wasn't like that this week, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody, the young and the old, was out there, you know what I'm saying, to receive us.
Right.
And that comes from years and years of work that Camp Saparium, you know, has been putting out up there. Not just, but you know what I'm saying, the generals who first came out there just to, you know what I'm saying, to fish Camp Saparium out there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the way he built up that whole zone.
Right.
So yeah, it was a glorious time, and it was a wonderful time that we had out there.
Right.
And Lord allow, we're gonna do it again. You know what I'm saying? Wherever we go. Because wherever we go for our people.
That's right.
So that you know what I'm saying, our people don't have to suffer the curses, don't have to continue in the curses that we're in, have to suffer within His kingdom. Right. At least we can see hope revealed.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? What is that hope? That hope is that Christ is going to come back and put these devils in chains.
Damn right.
That's that, you know what I'm saying? When they see us out there and we tell the oppressors that they're the damn devil that the Bible speaks of, to shut your mouth, you know what I'm saying? Go out there and kiss my boot.
That's right.
Because that's what the Lord says. You know how powerful that is for people who are destroyed?
That's right.
Who are totally and utterly destroyed?
That's right.
To see black men in power, so-called black Hispanics and Native American Indians in power, and telling the devil to their face, pointing, you know what I'm saying, pointing in their face, do this or God's going to do that. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just here to deliver a message.
That's right.
I'm just here to deliver a message. I ain't going to do nothing. But you know what I'm saying? You could, how's say you want to go home? You want to go jail? You want to go home?
That's right.
Well, when Christ comes back, the whole world you know what I'm saying, is going to go into so-called jail. It's going to be a plantation.
That's right.
And we's the plantation owners. You know what I'm saying? The ones who got the whips on their backs. You know what I'm saying? We's the plantation owners, the one who's rounded up and put on reservations. We's going to be the plantation owners, the one who you got in cages right now. You know what I'm saying? Rounding them up. And just because they because you say that they don't belong here, they're going to be your plantation owners.
That's right.
And boy, will a time they will have. But in order for them to be the plantation owners, we have to stop eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. We got to stop going to Memorial Day cookouts. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop, whoring out our sisters. Right. We got to stop being whoremongers. Right. We got to stop hating each other by selling each other crack. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to do. Once we stop doing that, or start doing all the stuff that the Most High taught us to do, man, that sky gonna crack.
That's right.
And once that sky crack, instantly a whip will appear in thine hands. Boy, what a time we will have. But let's get back. Let's get back to the topic. Also, if anybody has any questions online, go ahead and type it in. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get any and all questions. If anybody got any questions in the room, you know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and raise your hand. We're gonna get that up. All right. Talaki Brock, if you could continue, Barbara Gashawn.
The Grand Army of the Republic established Decoration Day as a time for the nation to decorate the graves of the war dead with flowers.
So they said they established this in 1868 by some department in the army, right?
Right.
Some Grand Army of the Republic, the veterans of the Grand Army of the Republic, and they wanted to decorate the graves, right? This is what they're saying, right? Let's keep reading.
Major General John A. Logan declared it should be May 30th. It is believed the date was chosen because flowers would be in bloom all over the country.
Now just remember, this is from the veterans official website, va.gov, right? So let's keep going. This is what Memorial Day is all about. It's all about the people who died the military members who died. You know what I'm saying, while in service. So let's keep reading.
The first large observance was held that year at Arlington National Cemetery across the Potomac River from Washington, D.C.
So you hear what they said. First one was held in 1868, right down the block in Arlington National Cemetery that year, right? This is the official website, right? So let's keep it must be right? It got to be right. Yeah. But one thing we got to know is the white man's the devil. He's a goddamn liar.
That's right.
Let's keep reading.
The ceremony centered around the morning draped veranda of the Arlington Mansion, once the home of General Robert E. Lee. Various Washington officials, including General and Mrs. Ulysses S. Grant, presided over the ceremonies.
It's like it real quick. People seem to forget, you know what I'm saying, the president of the Confederacy is right down, lived right down the block. Robert E. Lee, his mansion is right down the block.
Yep.
The president of the Confederacy.
Yep.
Let that sizzle in your spirit just a little bit. Let's keep reading.
After speeches, children from the soldiers and sailors orphan home and members of the GAR made their way through the cemetery, strewing flowers on both Union and Confederate graves, reciting prayers and singing hymns.
Now, when do white people ever recite prayers and sing hymns? When do they ever do that? That sounds like something niggas would do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That sounds like that's really specific to niggerdom.
Right.
Niggas do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got the black niggas, you got the Hispanic niggas, you know what I'm saying? You got the Native American Indian niggas.
Right.
They go around doing this, reciting prayers, and singing hymns. That is something very specific to us. They don't do this stuff. I wonder where they got it from. We was coming home from camp, and it was late, right? Cat was in the van with us, and we was driving down the road, and we seen two people, you know what I'm saying, on bikes, you know, popping wheelies and riding, right? And they was in like on oncoming traffic that was right in front of us. Cat was like, you know, just slow down, just let them pass, you know what I'm saying? It's whatever. It's summertime. It's almost summertime. Kids is out, you know, it was a nice, cool day and whatnot. They got a little closer, and we seen who it was. It was these two devils. And we was like, when have you ever seen? He was like, what would they do without us? They can't even have fun without us.
Right.
We are the start of everything.
Right.
They were doing the things that you see YNs do.
Right.
And because it was dark and we couldn't really see them because they had the bikes up and whatnot, we thought it was some young brothers. Lo and behold, it was two Edomites. That's the best I can say. It was two Edomites, you know what I'm saying, basically copying us. And when we read the description of what they're saying, what they were doing during this Memorial Day, the first ever Memorial Day, is it doesn't sound like something that they would do. Doesn't even sound like something they would do. If anybody's ever been to Arlington National Cemetery or have even seen it, you'll see that there's neat divided rows. All the tombstones are the same height, you know what I'm saying, the same length or whatnot, for the most part. They have a few of them that are shaped differently. I think it has due to religion and some other stuff. But for the most part, they're all the same. You know what I'm saying? And they're in perfect rows and whatnot. You think Esau did that? You think that was Esau's idea? Maybe, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. History, even though they try, take history away and disregard it and try and bury it or disform it, truth always comes out. Truth always comes out, right? Let's keep reading.
Local observances claim to be first. Local springtime tributes to the Civil War dead already had been held in various places. One of the first occurred in Columbus, Mississippi, April 25th of 1866.
So 2 years prior, from in Columbus, Mississippi, right? Let's keep going.
When a group of women visited when a group of women,
they really want to say white women. Well, let's keep going.
Visited a cemetery to decorate the graves of Confederate soldiers who had fallen in battle at Shiloh.
So these women went to these graves who decorate and wanted to decorate the soldiers in Shiloh, right?
Nearby were the graves of Union soldiers, neglected because they were the enemy. Disturbed at the sight of the bare graves, the women placed some of their flowers on those graves as well. Today, cities in the north and the south claim to be the birthplace of Memorial Day.
So they went to go and visit the Confederates, and the Confederates, they had their graves and whatnot, so they wanted to decorate them. But then they said, the nearby Union ones wasn't all pretty and lackluster. You know what I'm saying? So they went over there and show some kindness to them, right? This is what they're saying. This is coming from their website, right? Again, Trump has put an effort into taking away anything that's not white in you know what I'm saying, in history. They are currently actively trying to take everything that's not white out of American history. And this is a part of American history, right? Let's keep reading.
Today, cities in the North and the South claim to be the birthplace of Memorial Day in 1866. Both Macon and Columbus, Georgia, claim the title, as well as Richmond, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
The village of Boalsburg, Pennsylvania, claims it began there 2 years earlier.
Mm-hmm.
A stone in Carbondale, Illinois cemetery carries the statement that the first Decoration Day ceremony took place there on April 29th of 1866.
Mm-hmm.
Carbondale was the wartime home of General Logan. Approximately 25 places have been named in connection with the origin of Memorial Day. Many of them in the South where most of the war dead were buried.
All right, okay. None of this shows, us. None of this shows us. And there's more of it. Y'all can go ahead and read it, but none of it shows us.
Right.
None of it. None of it. Get me the other one that I sent you.
The video?
Not the video. Nah. Memorial Day's hidden history.
Okay.
It should have been 2 links within that last text.
All right, I got it right here.
Let's read that and see what that gets us.
We got Memorial Days. This is KTVB.com, News Channel 7. Nation World, Memorial Day's hidden history. How Black Americans started the day of remembrance.
Is this even in oppression, we still we're gonna read exactly what transpired. But even in oppression, we still trendsetters. You know what I'm saying? And this is a trendsetter on a national level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And who started it? It was us.
That's right.
I'm gonna prove it to you that it was us that started. Now, lies, really good lies, has some truth woven in it. You know what I mean? Why? I don't know why.
Right.
But it just had some truth. Has some truth to it, right?
Right.
So when you look at how the way they celebrated, especially in the first time, going down, and then they said the cemetery was neatly divided and whatnot. Have you ever seen any pre-Civil War like cemeteries, like really old cemeteries? No, you ever been like driving like a long drive somewhere out, especially like even in the South? Junk just don't look organized. Like you see an old church and then you see an old cemetery right next to it. It's not organized. It's just like here and there, and it's not organized compared to pictures what you've seen at Arlington National Cemetery.
Right.
Even if that thing, the old one, is somewhat symmetrical or organized, it's not as organized as Arlington National Cemetery. You know what I'm saying? So when you see that, just think of this. You had something, bro?
No, I actually had a comment about Arlington National Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
I used to actually slave it for some years, and there's a tour that's given, but they actually don't speak about it. I actually got this information from the guy, the client that actually ran, like the project manager on the client side or something of that nature,
Mm-hmm.
that ran the security. And in the back of, I don't know if you was going to go bring this up, but if not, in the back of the cemetery, in the back, meaning this is an exit that only used for emergencies, which never happens. It's the back of the cemetery is where the slaves were buried. And it wasn't until, I forget the year he had said, but it's recent, that they would not cut the grass over there. They would not do any maintenance over there, to where the Black slaves that served,
Mm-hmm.
there's a specific section that's just the slaves. That's in Arlington National Cemetery. It's not a part of the tour. They actually have the where slaves were kept. They actually have them. They renovated them to be more modern. So that's a part of the tour. When you go up there, that's a part of the tour, and where you're able to go inside and stuff of that nature. But as far as these stoneheads, the stoneheads would be kicked over. They would be, broken into pieces, and they would never do any landscape over there. They would completely skip the sections of where, where the slaves was at, that was buried there. And when any of the presidents got around there, they would
any of the presidents got around
any of
there?
the presidents used to come or do whatever it's called where they do the Memorial Day celebration. No, they never mentioned that area. These were slaves that had served in the military.
Okay, these were slaves that served in the military. I'm presuming for the Union, the North.
Yes, I assume as well. But yeah, that was a fact that they don't talk about it in the tours. They don't talk about it, nothing of that nature. I just so happened to be over there that day and was being told that the section it was, and it's cleaned up now. It was either a brother or a black woman or something of that nature some years ago that had corrected that, and then they went and redid all the headstones and fixed it up, and now it was a part of it. But initially, Arlington National Cemetery completely skipped over the section of headstones, gravestones, where soldiers that were slaves were buried at.
So while you was working there, was it still in disarray? And then they fixed it up after you started working there? Or
by the time I got there, and I used to walk over there just to, kind of like look at it myself. I was never, because of where I was posted at, you couldn't go over the hill, because you had to stay on your post. So where I was posted at, and I would sometimes at least try to walk up, and it wasn't, the one thing I can say, it did get fixed up, but it was nowhere near the standard of what the rest of the cemetery looked like. Not even close. Nowhere near. So you could tell the difference of effort that was put into managing that area. You could tell it by far. The trees wasn't hinged over there. It was like something of what you would it damn near would appear as a stain. But this is the area where the tour doesn't go. And if where they do get a glimpse to look at it, it's blocked by trees. It was blocked by trees. This is back in this some years ago now, but it was blocked by trees. And but I was there for that. I saw that myself.
So you saw it when it was blocked, or you saw it when it was fixed up?
No, I saw it when it was fixed up, not to the degree that he was referring to, where the headstones were literally kicked over. It just looked like a bunch of rubble over there. I didn't see it then. What I did see, though, just based off of the rest of the cemetery, was that this is clear as that anybody can see that it's not the same. The headstones was different. All the National Cemetery, besides one section, the rest of the cemetery, they all have the same headstones. They had different headstones. They didn't update them. Like all of those things I saw for sure. But as far as it being in rubble and just actually broken and kicked over, stuff of that nature, they used to say they would get white boys that would used to hop the fence and go kick and try to go kick over the headstones, and try to go kick over. They had a problem with that, so that's when they had to that's where that post actually came from, because people would constantly hop that wall to try and go over the wall, rather be to see a loved one, cause damage to the place, everything of that nature.
So,
and when you hop the fence, that was where the slave section was at. Yep.
So the easiest way to get in was by where the slaves were. It was the slaves were.
Well put. Yes.
Because they didn't give a damn about that section.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I have so many questions. I have so many questions. Okay, so wow. So what you're saying is they wow, okay. That's wild. Do you know when it was actually fixed up when you got there? Before you got there, how long was it fixed up before you got there?
I forget what he said, but if it is public information, I'm gonna try to search it up right fast just so I can. That'd be even better if there was some sort of article on it for sure. I just said when you brought it up, it brought back a memory. I was there for some years, and I completely forgot that he had told me that one day that he was rolling past there. Let's see if I can find.
Wow, that's crazy, because for number one, I know that Arlington National Cemetery was made a cemetery so that it could, like the Confederates couldn't memorialize Robert E. Lee's estate. That was his estate. That land there, just like I said, it was his man. He has a mansion over there. That was his estate, and the Union wanted to disrespect the state, basically. So they made it into a cemetery, right? And it's crazy that they put the slaves in some back. They even segregated the the dead. Like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. So they put them in the back and just left it in total disarray. You got PWs jumping over the fence and kicking over stones. You know what I'm saying? Like how the way they did how the way they do with they get drunk and go cow tipping. You know what I'm saying? That's what it sounded like. It kind of was. You want to do something fun. You're bored. Let's go kick over some slaves' headstones or whatnot. Like this is absolute crazy. Yeah, what's up?
So I found something from Alton National Cemetery and the Washington Post. It says, yes, there is historical evidence indicating that Arlington National Cemetery Section 27, which contains the graves of formerly enslaved African Americans and U.S. colored troops, was neglected for many years and only received proper attention after concerns were raised. Section 27, located near the Orden-Wetzel Gate, that was what it was called, Orden-Wetzel Gate, I remember, is one of the oldest parts of the cemetery and holds the remains of over 3,800 African Americans buried between 1864 and 1867. Many of these individuals were labeled as contrabands during the Civil War. Their headstones often bear...
Hold on. Read that last sentence again. Many of these what?
Remains of over 3,800 African Americans buried between 1864 and 1867. Many of these individuals were labeled as contrabands.
Many of these individuals, these people, were labeled as contrabands. You know what contraband is? Some illegal property. That's what contraband is. Why? Because they said we are property. We were nothing but property to do with what they please, the slave owners please. You know what I'm saying? And they said they called them contraband is because they actually went to war for the right to have contraband. And they was in the Union's possession illegally. So they deemed, man, I can feel the whip almost materializing. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? When I first came into the truth, you know what I'm saying? I was all for the the white man needs to be in slavery and everything. And I heard the men above me will say some real harsh things that they would do on their plantations and whatnot. I was like, man, that's kind of harsh, you know what I'm saying? But as you go into the history and see exactly the things that they've done to us, you hear about the things that they've done to us, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I heard we all heard, maybe not, but we've all heard of, they used to make our babies into alligator bait, right? But have you heard the description of what they would do? Like, have y'all heard that?
Of an alligator bait?
Yeah. Have you heard what they would actually do to do them put the babies in alligator bait? They would tie them up around their waist real tight with a rope, put the baby at the edge of the water, and the baby will kick and scream and whatnot, and it will cause the alligator to go and investigate what the hell is this. They will clamp down on them and try and drag them in the water, and then since they got the rope on them, because alligators, if you know anything about alligators are not like any other animals. They don't really chew their food. They don't rip you into pieces like that. What they would do is they'll try and take a chunk, and because babies are small, they're gonna take the babies and swallow them whole. You know what I'm saying? So when they wrap the rope around them, they will clamp on them and then try and drag them under. Then they will pull them out and hit him over the head with a pickaxe. Hit the alligator over the head with the pickaxe. The baby might still be alive, so they put the baby back in the water. Get another one, and they would do this 2 or 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear stuff like that, and I hear stuff like this, boy, I tell you,
Right.
when that whip, Lord allow, you know what I'm saying, he sees fit for me to you know what I'm saying, to be in the kingdom when the kingdom comes and not regenerated, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That whip comes in that hand, man. Boy, I tell you.
For sure.
Boy, I tell you. Everything that you think that's going to happen is going to be worse.
That's right.
Except for that homo gay stuff. And I ain't going to touch his stinking women either. You know what I'm saying? I might rip the skin off her back with the whip. That's about it. Right. That's the only touching I'm gonna get. You know what I'm saying? With that whip in the kingdom. It ain't gonna happen now. I ain't gonna do nothing now. I ain't gonna do nothing but raise up my people so that we can stop eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, so that the Most High will put that power in our hands.
That's right. That's right.
Anything else on that? What you was reading?
It was a little bit more.
They said we was contraband. These said that we was contraband. Like they seriously had no value on our life. Zero value on us. Yo, this is wild. This is wild. Like, as much as I know the white man's the devil, and as much as I know the things that they have done to us, it still amazes me at the mindset that they had toward us. Yeah. And I'm not even gonna say had, they still have this mindset toward us.
Right.
And that's why we got to tell our people, yo, this thing ain't new. This thing ain't new. The things that they've been saying, the things that they're doing is not new. They've been born and bred to be like this. The scripture says, you know, when Rebecca was pregnant and she went to inquire of the Lord, why is the pregnancy so hard? And the Most High came back and said, 2 nations are in your womb and they're fighting. I'm paraphrasing that part. They're scrapping. You know what I'm saying? They can't stand each other. Scripture says that, you know, they hated us, you know, from the womb. From the womb. Matter of fact, give me Obadiah 1 and 10, if you could, Baba Kashar. Give me Obadiah 1 and 10. And this is the reason why they called us contraband. This is the reason why they disregarded the grave sites. You know what I'm saying? The grave site. Section 27. I'm gonna look that up, man. This is crazy.
Yep.
Like you said, you have some more. Can you get that, Baba Kashar?
Not at all kind. Many of these individuals were labeled as contrabands during the Civil War. Their headstones often bear the inscriptions civilian or citizen, reflecting the limited recognition they received at the time. In recent years, All International Cemetery has faced criticism for removing educational materials and web content that highlighted the contributions of African American, Hispanic, and female veterans. These removals were in compliance with executive orders aimed at eliminating references to diversity, equity, and inclusion from federal agencies.
So just like what I said, Trump is actively removing us from their history. Well, you know what, devils? You know what I'm saying? The Most High has the most accurate recording system in all of eternity. Right. You know what I'm saying? He knows what you did.
That's right.
He knows what you did 10 lives ago.
Right.
He knows what you're going to do, and it's all recorded. It's all recorded. Right. So everything that we don't know, so we know about the Tamir Rices. We know about the Trayvon Martins and the Sandra Blands. We know about the Emmett Tills. But there's a whole ton of people that we do not know about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There was a brother that sued the University of Missouri for not allowing him to go to law school. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court. I should do a class on that. Salakia. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court. Salakia for not getting his brother's name. But it went all the way up to the Supreme Court. He won the case. The court said is either you let niggas in or you create another school for niggas. They ain't say it like that, but you know what they how they said it. You know what I'm saying? And lawyers speak.
Right.
But they said either you let them in or you create a separate but equal. That's how they used to go. Separate but equal system in order for blacks to get a pathway to becoming a lawyer. 3 months after that, he came up missing. No one has seen or heard of him ever again. But you know what? The Most High God knows what happened to him. Most High God knows where his bones are buried.
That's right.
And more importantly, Most High God knows who did this thing to him.
Right.
And when the sky cracks, they're back. Them bastards are back. You know what I'm saying? This happened in the 30s. You know what I'm saying? They might have died and gone, but they're back. That's or right. They're coming back.
That's right.
They're going to pay for that.
That's right.
They are absolutely going to pay for that. And I want them to be born and with full health. I want them to be born in full health. I want them to have a strong back because this kingdom needs to be built.
That's right.
And they're gonna be built off their backs.
Double time,
right? Double time. I don't want them to come back with no MS, no multiple sclerosis. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't want them to come back with some degenerative disease where say they can't grow up big and strong. I don't want them to be, what's the name? Hodor from Game of Thrones. Well, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Right. To be big and strong. You know what I'm saying? In case my ox wants to take a rest, Cracker, pick up that damn, that damn boulder and move it up the hill. Anything else on that?
No, that was it right there.
Give me Obadiah 1 and 10, Baba Kashar. And this is why these bastards are going to go away in captivity, and then they're gonna go away permanently. Read this.
Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob. This is violence what they did to us. You know what I'm saying? In order for just to say that your property, you know what I'm saying, you have to have some sort of power in order to do that. You know what I'm saying? They have power to put us in a position where we're just nothing but property and treat us like property, and then get mad when the property run away. You know what I'm saying? And fight you for their freedom. Right. They actually had a term where it says, I forget the term of it, but it was like some mental condition that why would slaves want to run away and escape slavery for their freedom? They said it was a mental illness. They said it was a mental illness. Man, these white folk crazy. These folk is crazy. Right. Let's keep going.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee.
Shame is going to cover you. You're not shameful right now. This is y'all's kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Make America great again, right? Right? Yeah, this is exactly what y'all want. Y'all want to erase us from the histories of America. Well, we're in the DNA of America. You can't escape us. You know what I'm saying? But shame will come upon you. You want to know how? With a few 100,000, few 100 million heads are going to roll when Christ comes back.
Right.
That's when shame is going to be like, oh, we messed up. Right. We said that this was Christ, but this ain't Christ. Mm-hmm. It's some nigga with a fro or braids, man. He I don't know how he gonna come back. I don't know how the drip gonna be exactly. I don't know if he's gonna let it flow or if he's gonna have tied back. You know what I'm saying? What the white people call it boxer braids. Mm-hmm. When I first heard that, I'm like, what the hell is boxer braids? I had to Google it, dead ass. I had to Google it and like, oh, what is this? And I kept seeing cornrows, and I was like, man, this ain't it. Google's stupid. Why they keep showing me cornrows and not boxer braids? What the hell is this? Mm-hmm. But when he come back, they're gonna expect to see this, and it's gonna be a nigga. It's going to be a nigga with a bloody sword. But when they see the reds of his eyes, because they ain't gonna be what? When they see the reds of his eyes, it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late. You ever seen a movie where it's like an old movie or something like that where someone's on a horse and they come by and chop the head off? You know what I'm saying? They just sitting there looking. That's how it's gonna be. Well, a ton of them. Christ ain't gonna play no games. He ain't got no weak stomach. You know what I'm saying? His swing hand is strong. He's ambidextrous. He's gonna do it with both hands. You know what I'm saying? He's fully loaded, you know what I'm saying? Unlimited ammo, and he ain't never gonna get tired. Y'all want to put us in cages? No sweat. No sweat. Christ's gonna put you in the earth. Christ's gonna put you in the earth. And then we're gonna put you in chains. Lord allow. Salaki, you got something?
Con, I was just gonna say, who could be scared of that?
Right? Yeah.
It doesn't look scary at all.
You wanna know who could be scared of that? Children. Because that's who he predarizes. You know what I'm saying? These niggas is crazy. These white folks is crazy. I need to put that on a shirt. Salakia.
Damn right.
Let's keep reading.
And thou should be cut off forever.
And the Most High is gonna cut you off forever. Right after your sentence is nice and full, Most High is gonna cut you off. It's gonna be our kingdom then, and after that, ain't gonna be not near a white person. You know how the way they try and genocide us by drugs, by alcohol, by abortion and all this stuff, school to prison pipeline, all the LGBTQ plus they try and commit genocide with us. There ain't gonna be none of that in that day. It's gonna be direct and to the point. It's gonna be sword and neck. It's gonna be pickaxe and the top of your dome. It is what it is.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's all to it. And then when we want to see a so-called white man, we're gonna have to go to old movies. You know what I'm saying? Like those old black and white movies. You know how they have it's like some like old extinct animals, like last known pictures of. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we're gonna see these people.
That's right.
That's how we're gonna see these people. Why? Because look at all the crap that they're doing to us. All the destruction, all the lies, you know what I'm saying? All the rape, the robbery, the murders, everything that they have done to us. And not just the things that we know about, all the whole ton of sins that not the atrocities that we don't know about. Let's get that article. KTVB. Is there anything online? Salaki.
You had a few comments, little hecklers.
We got some hecklers?
Yeah, we had hecklers. One of them had said Garrison Portuguese King said, "Damn, stop crying every week. Cry, big grown men." Had commented again, you're something. I want to say he's trying to say hating, but you're 8 in a dream world. Ain't no whip going in your hand. Toby Jones said, y'all do know newly freed African Americans started Memorial Day.
We're about to get into that. We're about to get into that. Exactly. Newly freed, you know what I'm saying? Niggas started Memorial Day. We was just reading what was on the official va.gov website about Memorial Day, the origins of Memorial Day. You know what I'm saying? And we also read what Barack just said, how there's an executive order to actively remove us from history. They're taking us out, pulling us out, of websites and reading materials and publishings. They're actively pulling us out so that when you go to the va.gov website or usarmy.com website, whatever, and you read something about, something historical, you're going to say that, oh, it really happened like that. Like right now in schools, they're teaching that niggas got over here by what's called the Great Migration. The Great Migration. Yes, when your kids are in school and they say, they come back home and they tell you, hey, guess what I learned? Black people got over here by migrating over here. And it was a ton of them at one time. Like, yo, they're putting that in there. They're not showing how that they kidnapped people. They got together with another group of nasty people called the Hamites, and they got them to kidnap us and bring us over here and put us in the worst slavery in recorded history and unrecorded history ever in the history, you know what I'm saying? But there's gonna be something even harder when Christ comes back. Hit that button. I pray you understand. Slack. Yeah, right there. Yeah, Most High in Christ. To what? Yeah, Most High in Christ. To what? I appreciate that. But when Christ comes out, it's gonna be something, something totally different. But they're actively taking us up out of history. But that's no problem. That's no problem. All you gotta do is come to Israel School Universal Practical Knowledge, and we're gonna teach you the truth.
Damn right.
The truth. It is a reason why it's universal and practical, because we're showing you the practicality of this thing, and we're showing you the universal knowledge of it. We're bringing out the absolute utter truth.
That's right.
Now let's read this article, the Black Memorial Day's Hidden History, Baba Gashar.
Right. 1 second. Memorial Day's Hidden History: How Black Americans Started the Day of Remembrance. One of the earliest Memorial Day observances occurred on May 1st, 1865.
Oh man, 1865. We was talking about 1866. Even though the one that's officially observed was in 1868. Man, we them trendsetters.
That's right.
We them trendsetters. And I don't know, Salakia. I don't know who started it. Whether it's, because I know both of y'all brothers, you know what I'm saying? Now I did it. I don't know. I'm just gonna put it on both of y'all. I know you and also Kazak Ahmad, you know what I'm saying? Y'all wear the fringes, how the way it goes across your pants. I don't know who did it first. I just know both of y'all did it.
Officer Kazak.
It's Officer Kazak?
We give it all.
Most time, let's give Officer Kazak. You know what I'm saying? So Officer Kazak was the first one doing it. Now I see, not just in the school, I see people outside of the school, right, who don't associate themselves with us at all doing this.
Right.
Putting the fringes across their pants like that. You know what I'm saying? We are trendsetters.
That's right.
You just can't help but to do what we do.
Right.
Because we just make the thing look so damn cool. You know what I'm saying? We just make it look so damn fly. What's up?
On TikTok, they had this one Judite sister on there, and she said that we make being poor look fun.
Yeah,
because we make it look so good being poor, but no, we don't want to be poor. But we make it look so easy and cool.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. People want to be us.
They do.
Even the poor version of us. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole ripped jean thing. You know what I'm saying? Once upon a time, you got made fun of if you came outside in some ripped clothes. You know what I'm saying? Once upon a time, you got made fun of if your pants came above your ankles. You know what I'm saying? Unless you was a woman. You know what I'm saying? But men.
High waters.
What's that?
High waters.
High water, exactly. Yep. And the only reason why you wore high waters is because it was passed down, or you grew out of it and you couldn't afford to get a new pair of pants.
Right.
Now niggas is getting that altered to make it look like high waters.
And big bucks.
And yeah, paying big bucks to get them ripped jeans and high waters and tight clothes, skinny jeans. Only reason why you wore skinny stuff like it is because you outgrew it and you couldn't afford to get something else. And now look at it. We making it look popular.
Right.
We making it look popular. People are getting hundreds of thousands of millions of views off of our struggle meals. There's whole brands, Wingstop, Buffalo Wild Wings, wings and things. That's a struggle meal. You know what I'm saying? How much substance can you get off of a chicken wing? We wanted the breast. We wanted the thigh. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We wanted the drumstick.
Right.
But we only had the wing, so we had to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Once upon a time, the oxtails was thrown away because they couldn't do anything with it. Thank God for them Benjamites who taught us how to, you know what I'm saying? How to do that thing. And now you paying $40, $50 for, 3 or 4 pounds of goddamn oxtails. And that's raw. That's not going into the spot to cook it, you know what I'm saying? To get it cooked and whatnot. Come on, man. We make everything better. And now they're trying to get rid of Issachar. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to get rid of the Northern Tribe. I don't want none of these PWs to have any tacos. No Taco Tuesday for you. No Cinco de Mayo. No Modelo. No Coronas. Right. Y'all can't have none of that. Y'all, no. No tres leches. You can't have none of that. None of that food. You know what I'm saying? You can't have no low riders. I don't want to see y'all no low riders.
Nope.
Give me some more. Give me some more. I don't want to see you in Vans. No Tribe wears the Vans, not the white boys, Salakia. Because we made it popular and then they try to take it from us. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see y'all in none of that stuff. I don't want to see y'all listed. I don't want to see y'all on what do you call it? I don't want to see y'all doing the bachata and the bachata. I don't want to see y'all doing the merengue. I don't want to see y'all eating arroz con pollo. I don't want to see y'all eating none of that stuff. All that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all to. I don't want to have y'all can't have no birria tacos.
Nope.
Y'all can't have none of that stuff.
That's right.
None of it. Y'all want to get rid of, you know what I'm saying, the Northern Tribe? You want to do that? All that goes away with it too. You can't have no Tex-Mex. No Tex-Mex because they took y'all stinking nasty food, right. and then they gave it flavor. I seen a post someone said they drove by a white cookout and didn't smell nothing. Yo, that's wild. That's wild. You didn't even smell the charcoal? Right. Like damn, that's wild. Y'all can't have none of that.
Right on.
Y'all can't have no cowboy boots. Y'all can't have no cowboy hats. Right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't have no cowboy big belt buckle. Y'all can't have no Wrangler jeans, no Levi jeans. We made that popular. Why you think it's called cowboy? They wanted to disrespect us, calling us boy. Because we was out there working on the farm, tending to the cows. Now they making shows honoring, you know, and then saying these white people. These Edomites, Salakia, honoring them, showing them like, oh yeah, it's a hard work. Man, these some lazy people. These some lazy people.
Right.
You think they're gonna be out there working, sun up, sun down? It came from them? No, it came from us. We made working hard popular.
Yep.
And they got the goddamn nerve to call us lazy. They're so stupid. They're saying, the Northern Tribe are coming here and freeloading and doing all, you know what I'm saying, just on the government teat, you know what I'm saying, the government supporting them and stealing their jobs. How are you a lazy freeloader if you're stealing someone's job?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? If you're lazy and you're freeloading, that means you're not doing nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you're getting something for nothing. But how are you stealing a job? If they're stealing the jobs, that means they're actually going out and doing work.
Right.
And they're doing it for cheaper. Why? Because they're stealing it. They're not gonna. They would rather pay someone cheaper than to pay someone who does the same thing higher, right? So if they're stealing your job, they're doing it for cheaper. You devils don't know nothing about nothing. That's why the Most High needs to take you out your power. Only reason why you got the power is because we're not listening to the Most High, and He put someone evil over us so that we were like, hey man, we can never do that again, ever.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The Babylonians were bad. You know what I'm saying? The Greeks were bad. The Romans were bad. But these devils right here, like the Egyptians were bad, but these niggas right here, like, yo, we forgot soon after we got out of them slaveries. After this slavery, we will never forget.
Right.
How the way they say, never forget 9/11, never forget. Whenever Christ comes back, no, we're gonna never forget. We're gonna never forget what He done for us. We didn't even start this article, right? We didn't even start this article. Let's get it, Salakia.
Right. Organized by free slaves, on May 1st of 1865, organized by freed slaves and white missionaries. United States.
They had to put them white people in there.
Sure did.
Like, come on now. I'm here to tell you it was no Edomites. I was gonna say something derogatory. But I want to keep the channel. So let's keep going.
Memorial Day is one of the United States' most solemn federal holidays. It is dedicated to the honoring and mourning U.S. military personnel who died while serving in the armed forces. Observed on the last Monday of May, the holiday also marks the unofficial beginning of summer in the United States, drawing millions to cemeteries and memorials across the nation. The U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs uses this quote on its website, quote unquote, "That nation which respects and honors its dead shall ever be respected and honored itself."
So that's crazy. That's crazy, because didn't we just see that you witnessed how the way they dishonored its dead of color? This nigga Slakia, this was it 1 star? He's a 1-star. No, he's a lieutenant colonel. He's not even a general. This lieutenant colonel was talking about, hey, we're gonna honor our dead forever. That's basically what he said. We're gonna honor our dead forever. He's talking about the military. When they had a chance to honor the dead, they didn't even, number one, they didn't even give them the right to say they were enlisted, or even I'm not sure if they had any black officers in the Civil War. No, they didn't. They didn't have any black officers. Everybody had to be, subservient. Everybody had to be enlisted. If you don't know, there's officers who are in charge basically of the men, and then there's enlisted. And even when there's enlisted, there's different ranks. So you know what I'm saying, one rank could be higher than the other rank, but they all have to listen to an officer. You could be enlisted for 30 years, and this officer could be just commissioned 2 days ago. That 30-year officer enlisted would have to do what that officer says. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, there was no black officers. Everybody, all the black men were enlisted. I remember there's a in World War II, there was actually a movie that just came out. Yeah, it was World War II. The movie that just came out with what's that girl from damn, I forget her name. But anyway, she was a black officer, and she went over to Europe to like do the mail. And it was a whole ton of mail, and they basically got it done. Well, but while they was over there, some people died. Some of her people died, were killed in there, and they wouldn't put them in Arlington National Cemetery. Like, that's what it was for. That's if you die in war, you're put in Arlington National Cemetery unless the family wants to put you somewhere else.
Right.
But if you die in war, that's where you go. And they refuse to put these black women in Arlington National Cemetery. So this devil was talking about he's honoring the dead when he only meant honoring white men,
Right.
and possibly white women.
Right.
Secondary. But let's keep reading.
The tradition centers on the traditions centers on visiting burial grounds and monuments to mourn military personnel who died in the line of duty.
Mm-hmm.
Volunteers place American flags on graves in national cemeteries, while family members and friends lay flowers and pay their respects to those who made the ultimate sacrifice for their country.
Made the ultimate sacrifice for their country. And there's a whole section of niggas that went dormant and laid, laid to waste, and people went over there to desecrate. If you wanted to do something fun, you went over and desecrated the black folks' graves. Lay down the ultimate sacrifice. Ultimate sacrifice. You can't get anything greater than laying. That's what the Bible says. There is no greater thing that a man can do than lay down his life for his brother.
Right.
That's what the Bible says. As a matter of fact, if you could, let me get that, Baba Kashaw.
No swear.
Let me get that. I believe Christ said that. I believe Christ. That was them words was Christ's words. There is no greater thing, but we're gonna get that, get that scripture when you get
John 15 and 13.
John, you can get that, Baba Kashaw, John 15 and verse 13.
Right.
While he's getting that, let's keep reading this, Baba Kashaw.
Originally known as Decoration Day, Memorial Day roots trace back to America's bloodiest conflict, the Civil War, which claimed approximately 620,000 soldiers' lives, with about 2/3 dying from disease rather than battle wounds.
Damn, so 2/3 of this 620,000 die from damn disease. You know what I'm saying? That means slow death. That means, you know what I'm saying? And back, I don't know if you know anything about like Civil War. The Civil War, medicine was not that great. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have clean, sterile things. If you got shot and it even looked like you had some infection or it wasn't going to heal, they would cut the whole limb off. You know what I'm saying? When they was using bullets, they used like these round lead balls and whatnot, and it would go in. And if they couldn't get it out, you would die of lead poisoning. You know what I'm saying? It was so bad. It was so bad. I believe they had a early invention of metal detector or something like that. When Abraham Lincoln got shot, they couldn't find the bullet and whatnot. So they went over his body trying to find the bullet, and it was going off everywhere. The reason why it was going off everywhere because he was laying on a metal bed. So they couldn't. These are Edomites. These are niggas that's over us. You know what I'm saying? So so they couldn't find the metal bullet, and they didn't know why. You know what I'm saying? He died of his wounds. You know what I'm saying? But 2/3 of them died slowly and horribly. You know what I'm saying? Bleeding out. They couldn't stop the bleeding. For some of them, they nicked some arteries and they couldn't stop the bleeding. Painful death. You know what I'm saying? To this day, this is the bloodiest war the U.S. has ever seen. The bloodiest war because it killed over 500,000 people. Killed over 500,000 people, and all the wars that the U.S. has been involved in. You can combine all the dead. It still is not going to amount to the number of people in the Civil War. Yes, yeah. That's a wild stat, huh?
Yeah.
Keep reading, Baba Kashaw.
And with about 2/3 dying from disease rather than battle wounds, the work of honoring the dead began immediately across the country, leading several American towns to claim the birthplace of what would become a Memorial Day. The first national observance occurred on May 30th of 1868 when Commander-in-Chief John A. Logan of the Grand Army of the Republic proclaimed the holiday to honor Union soldiers who had died in the Civil War. This national declaration followed numerous local observances that had emerged between the war's end and Logan's proclamation. Many cities and individuals had claimed to be the first to observe the holiday.
All right, so on a national scale, this Commander Chief John A. Logan, the GAR, he's the one that like, hey, we're gonna start it. Nah, everybody else saying, nah, we did it. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
The National Cemetery Administration and the Department of Veterans Affairs Division credits Mary Ann Williams with originating the idea of decorating Civil War soldiers' graves with Union and Confederate flowers.
So they credit this white woman with the idea of doing this, right? But let's keep reading.
Researchers have documented the earliest annual commemoration to women who laid flowers on soldiers' graves in the Civil War hospital town of Columbus, Mississippi, in April of 1866.
But in the beginning, we showed that we was doing it in 1865. Keep reading.
However, historical evidence reveals an even earlier and more significant commemoration that has long been overlooked in mainstream narratives.
Just like President Trump's executive order to take us out of publication. Keep reading.
The Associated Press states that over 10,000 people, most of them black, held a parade.
Oh, what?
Held a parade and dedicated graves in 1865.
In 1865. So in 1865, over 10,000 people, mostly niggas, came and held a parade. Back then, if you can just imagine, they segregated the former slaves who fought and the white men who fought. They would rather have the white men who fought each other be buried together than to have niggas buried next to them.
Wow.
And you mean to tell me that they're going to have a parade and they're going to be in a parade together? They're going to be in a parade together? Nah. You know what I'm saying? Let's have some common sense about this. Let's have some common sense about this. Even the officers who was in charge of the Black Army soldiers hated them. Like, man, we're at war because of y'all. They didn't have no love for us. No love for us at all.
Right.
Let's keep reading.
In 1871, abolitionist Frederick Douglass feared Americans were forgetting the Civil War's impetuous enslavement when he gave a Decoration Day speech at Arlington National Cemetery. The article states, according to the historian David Blight's research documented in his 2001 book, Race and Reunion, The Civil War in American Memory, and acknowledged by the Department of Veteran Affairs, one of the most important Memorial Day observances took place on May 1st of 1865.
1865.
In Charleston, South Carolina.
In the heart of niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's some of the blackest niggas, in the world come from, South Carolina. See? You see what I'm saying?
I had to give that a moment.
Yeah, let's give that a moment. Let's big up I.S.U.P.K, South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? They're doing big things out there. In South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep reading.
Newly freed slaves and white missionaries organized this commemoration at a former planters' racetrack when Confederates had held captured Union soldiers during the war's final years.
So there was a Union soldiers. Most of them was us, but they still was Union soldiers. They held them captives at this racetrack. Let's keep reading.
At least 257 prisoners died at the site, many from disease, and were buried in unmarked graves.
Okay, so they just put them in the ground and then put dirt over them, right, to keep them from stinking up the place. That's basically what they did. Keep reading.
Black residents of Charleston decided to give these fallen soldiers a proper burial.
So that means they had to dig them up and line them up accordingly. You know what I'm saying? And this is what the black residents decided to do. not the white missionaries, the black residents decided to do this. Keep going. Even in oppression and coming from war, we had the decency to honor another nation. When I say another nation, I'm talking about these PWs. You know what I'm saying? These Edomites, Salakia. we had the decency to do this. Let's keep reading.
In approximately 10 days leading up to the event, roughly 24 Black American Charlestonians reorganized the graves into orderly rows and constructed a 10-foot wall.
Into orderly rows. Remember what I told you, how the way I said it, and how the way those old cemeteries look like? It just looked like, it's just like, hey, we got some space over here. Let's put them down. And it's not like orderly and decent like how the way like Arlington National Cemetery is,
right?
And like how the way current cemeteries are. Them things are like very orderly and neat and in rows. Right. Who did that first? They got the nerve to say we lazy. You know what I'm saying? This is not even our. Some of them is not even our kin. They a lot. Well, actually, I would say most, if not most of them, were not our kin. Why? Because it's in South Carolina. Union soldiers came from the north.
Right.
These wasn't any kin to us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we did that out of goodness of our hearts, you know what I'm saying, trying to honor this stinking country, this stinking kingdom. And this is how the way they repay us. So like, let's keep going.
And constructed a 10-foot tall white fence around them. An archway overhead proclaimed Martyrs of the Race Course in black letters. Time magazine reported coverage in the Charleston Daily Courier and the New York Tribune. About 10,000 people, mostly black residents, participated in the May 1st tribute. The ceremony began at 9 a.m. with approximately 3,000 black school children.
Black school children. They said we wasn't educated. This is in 1865. We're school children in 1865. 1 year after the Civil War ended. No, that year. Salakia. That year.
Right.
And we got kids at school.
Right.
And you saying, you know, we uneducated, we don't want nothing better for ourselves. Y'all are some liars, man. That's the reason why we call you the devil that the Bible speaks of. Devil simply means deceiver, and you're deceiving us. And the bad thing is, most of us eat it up and believe it. They call us super predators. We think we're the super predators. Right. You know what I'm saying? They call us drug dealers. We think we're the baddest drug dealers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You would think Freeway Rick Ross was the biggest drug dealer when really it was someone else who gave him the drugs.
Yep.
Someone else who gave him the drugs. Someone else who flew it in.
Yep.
Someone else who organized the whole thing.
Yep.
No, it wasn't us. it's Esau.
Always been.
Pharmaceuticals. Where does it come from? It comes from the Greek word. I forget it, but it's pharma. I want to say pharma. Pharma.
Right.
But the biggest industry in the world is like national defense and medicine. You know what I'm saying? Who's the biggest drug dealers? Who's the biggest death bringers on this earth? Is Esau.
Right.
Is these people. You know what I'm saying? You had 3,000 black children, black school children. Let's keep reading that, Baba Kashaw.
3,000 black school children parading around the racetrack, carrying roses and singing the Union song, John Brown's Body. Adults representing aid societies for freed black men and women followed in the procession.
So this is about, you know what I'm saying? This is basically about us. We're the ones who did it, and we did it big.
Right.
10,000 people? You mean to tell me so a few people, a few women from some flower society went and laid flowers on a grave, went and laid flowers on a grave, a few graves and whatnot, and you say they're the ones who started it when you have 10,000 people here doing it, dug up some unmarked graves and made grave sites official and gave these men a proper burial? You mean to tell me you overlooked that big event that happened a year prior? But you saying a woman or a few women, you know what I'm saying, who organized a walk and wanted to throw some flowers on some graves, and you say that's history, right? But just like I said, we purposely read from the va.gov to see exactly what they're saying and what real history is actually saying. Because again, we read earlier where there's an executive order having Trump wants to take us basically out of the annals of history. Wants to take us out of the annals of history. Now, these people, especially, man, I can't get that out of my head, man. Where you have the black soldiers, former slaves that is put in the corner, a small section, and it's dilapidated. Read what Christ said. Read what Christ said about this.
John chapter 15, verse 13. Greater love hath no man than this.
Greater love had no man than this. No man has any greater love than this. You know what I'm saying? You can give them all your money. You know what I'm saying? You can give them a place to stay. You can give them a job. You can teach them all the wonders of the world. But there is nothing greater than this right here. Read it.
That a man lay down his life for his friends.
That a man lay down his life for his friends. And the sad part about this, when it comes to the black soldiers, is that we thought America was our friend. We thought that America had our backs. And a lot of us still think America has our backs, even after Trayvon Martin, even after Sandra Bland. You know, they're trying to get Derek Chauvin a pardon. Not even a pardon, Salakia. They want to give him a pardon, but they're going about it in a way where they can get his conviction overturned, so that he won't even have to be pardoned. They're saying some medical doctor up here in Maryland saying that the reason why he died was because of some underlying condition, and no matter what, his breathing would have stopped, and Derek Chauvin wasn't responsible for his death. That's what they're going with, so that he can get so his conviction could be overturned. And if that doesn't work, then Trump is going to pardon him. Then Trump is going to pardon him. Like the whole world was flipped upside down over George Floyd. We seen it with our own eyes. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't not turn away and say, hey, this is, what he did was right, because he was on tape, on camera, doing what with his knee on his neck. And there was no way that he could have gotten out of it. But now they're creating a way for him to get out of it. These people don't care about us. These people don't care about us. We shouldn't memorialize any of the way they did the former slaves. We shouldn't memorialize them for nothing. We shouldn't celebrate anything that has anything to do with the uplift of this kingdom. You want to honor some people who gave their lives? You know what I'm saying? Honor Christ. You want to know how you honor Christ? By separating your spirit totally and completely from this place. If you don't know how to do it, get in a class, sit in these chairs, ask questions, and we'll teach you how to separate your spirit. Because the men in here is totally separated. Totally separate. So separated, I didn't even know, what today was. I knew what today was, but I didn't. didn't have an impact. It didn't fathom on me until I actually tried to do things that I would normally do, and I couldn't do. And I'm like, damn, it's a holiday. Right. I'm so far removed from this stinking kingdom.
Yeah. Right.
And all we need, I will never know this number. Only time I will know this number is when that sky cracks. But all we need is 144,000. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. All we need is 12,000 from each tribe. That's right. That's all we need. And I don't know that number. What number we at right now? But when that sky cracks, I know that number will be reached. That's right. And Lord allow, this happens this happens on Saturday. Slack-it. Right. I'm tired of this place. Hey, look at me in the eye. I'm tired of this place. That's right. Lord allow, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna have to deal with none of this no more.
That's right.
Anybody got any questions online? Anybody got anything to say online? Anybody got any questions in the room? In online?
No question.
No question. All right, most iron Christ. With that, pass the class over to Priest and Officer Barack.
We got the security announcements. We got the security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. The upcoming holy convocation, we just had the closing of the Feast of First Fruit. Oh, no, that's coming.
That's coming up.
That's coming up. So
next Sunday.
The closing of the Feast of First Fruits is coming up next Sunday. You understand? So if you want to have any donations or contribute towards this closing, you understand? Contact your camp leader in your zone.
Slack it. Read that, Bible Shah.
The water too. Right. The Feast of First Fruits, which starts after the Sabbath on unleavened bread on sundown, Sunday, April 20th, 2025. And you count 50 days to celebrate the 50th day. And that day would be Sunday, June 8th, 2025. And it starts before sundown. You can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 10 through 22. As well, the I.S.U.P.K cookouts have been posted up. The dates have been posted up. Just check out ISUPK.com where it gives off the list of the cookouts that's coming up. I'll grab the list quick fast. Right. So starting off with the I.S.U.P.K cookouts for this summer, you have Fayetteville that's going to kick it off. Fayetteville, North Carolina, that's going to be July 3rd to July 6th. Following that, you got Chicago, you understand, July 31st to August 3rd. And then you have Harlem, New York, September 5th through September 7th, followed by California, October 2nd to October 5th, and then Houston going October 30th to November 2nd. You understand? This is also posted online. You understand? Check it out, of course, if you plan on making any of those cookouts. Also tonight, Commander General Yahanna will be going live 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on his YouTube channel. By the username is The Real General Yahanna. That's the name of the page, The Real General Yahanna. Go on there at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going live on the Black Watch. Anything you want to add on that? Mm-hmm. That's it?
That's it, yeah.
Most of Chris. With that, remind Akim and Akwapian to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, and scarf. And with that, I say Amajim, which means to stand. All right, men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amadi Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat Barakatah.
Yajimata, class dismissed.